Hey ladies, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I go by JB Hart. If you are new here, if you are a subscriber, welcome back to a new episode of the I'm Just Big Bone podcast. This is episode 7. I said, when I get to the double digits, don't say nothing to me because your girl been getting and keeping this consistency going. So I'm super duper proud of myself. But yes, welcome back to this podcast, to this channel. If you're new here on this podcast, this is a podcast for plus size women where we talk about, you know, the hard truths out there, improving ourselves, touching into our feminine nature and things like that. So welcome to this podcast, and I hope you guys really enjoy it. And thank you to everyone who has been sharing my videos and my Instagram reels and TikToks and stuff like that. So I am very appreciative with all that. So thank you guys so much. But without further ado, let's get into episode 7. So as you can see from today's podcast, I really wanted to take this episode and really dedicate this time to people who are still tapping into their identity and still tapping into their full potential and stuff like that. Because I feel like with plus size women, a lot of us are really discouraged when it comes to pivoting and changing lanes in our life and things like that. And I honestly think it's because we're so wrapped up in our size, we're so wrapped up in how society treats us, that we honestly don't even get the chance to sit down, look around, and smell the flowers. Like, we don't really get the chance to think about our careers or honestly just being in the present. A lot of plus size women are not in the present because we're always worried about our weight. It's something we're always thinking about. And it's so crazy because no one else is thinking about it really but us. Like, we think about it 24/7. Like, I honestly think about what I'm eating. I think about my size. I think about losing weight almost pretty much, you know, kind of every day, you know, and we're going to talk about that later about, you know, ways to really live in the present and, you know, change your identity and stuff. But I think it's really important to understand that a lot of plus size women don't live in the present. We really sit here and we dwell and we think about all of our past hurt, our past traumas. And, you know, we're so worried about our habits with eating and things like that that we don't really get the chance to sit down and think about what we truly want. So I really wanted to take this episode and really come up with different methods and different ways for you guys to really change your identity and really change your, you know, your mood from being so held back because of your weight and really, you know, start living in that present and like truly living in like your best life possible. And so some of the things that I have already done, I wrote them down just to share, you know, with you guys as well. And I really wanted to go through some different advice and different think pieces on how you really can change your identity as a plus size woman that doesn't really involve 100% with losing weight, because a lot of us, you know, have PCOS. A lot of plus size women have, you know, different hereditary issues where we can't lose weight. And you know, I can't really say, you know, can't too much, but it's basically a bigger struggle than it would for someone who's smaller to, you know, get bigger just because of their genetics and stuff like that. So me personally, I do have PCOS. I haven't been diagnosed yet, but I'm pretty sure, but I'm gonna find that out later. But a lot of plus size women have PCOS and different things that, you know, hold us back from losing weight truly. So I really want to sit here and talk about ways, you know, you can change your identity, you can be a different person, and you really can take control of your life and, you know, not letting these intrusive thoughts, you know, change your whole identity and make you feel like you can't do anything else except be focused on losing that weight. Okay, so the first thing I wanted to talk about is really writing down what you want. As a plus size woman, I don't think a lot of us really sit down and write down what we want. And I mean writing down what you want as in, like, if you could change your identity, if you could live a whole different life, the dream life that you really want, I want you to write down what that feels like, what that looks like, and don't get too specific in how you look, because, you know, looks change, you know, bodies change, weight fluctuates and stuff like that. So I don't want you sitting there right now, I'm 120 pounds. Okay, that's freaking crazy. Don't write that down, girl, because that's like an impossible goal. You know, I'm not saying impossible, but let's be a little, chill out. Let's not be too hard on ourselves when it comes to things like that, because I want you to write down stuff that's not about your weight. I want it to be about, the things around you and what you want to do with your life. So I think really writing down really helps. You can even type it up if you want, but me personally, I think pen and paper works out the best. So definitely write down what you want in your dream life, how you want to feel, what kind of friends do you want to have. Do you want to have friends that are plus size like you? Do you want friends to make you feel like this, feel like that? Definitely write down the kind of clothes you would like to wear, or what stores you want to be able to shop at, how much money you're going to be making in that time, what kind of job that you're going to have, or what kind of income that you want. It doesn't necessarily have to be a job, but like maybe like you have a business or something progressive. Maybe you want to be an influencer. Maybe you want to have your own podcast. And this is funny because this is actually one of the things that I had already wrote down. So definitely a proven thing. When you write it down, you really hold yourself accountable. So I want you to write down these things that you are just honestly not even sure how you're gonna get done or how you're gonna be able to live that dream life. I want it to be just really just almost impossible, but definitely write down all the things that you want in your dream life and how that looks and how that feels. Because when you write down what you want, that's when you can start identifying different ways to already walk into your dream life. Because you really can't have a dream life unless you're already doing the things that you need to do before you get there. And you have to really enjoy the moments of, building that dream life and things like that, or else you will be too upset and focused on what's not happening instead of really living in your truth. So definitely write down, also when it comes down to confidence, I want you to write down literally how you feel and think about the way that you feel right now. So right now, let's say maybe you're not feeling 100%, about your body, or maybe you're insecure. Maybe that, you don't feel like you have the body that you want and stuff like that. So definitely write down stuff like, I'm going to feel like no one can tell me anything about my body, because I love myself. I truly accept myself no matter what the scale says. Like, write down stuff like that. So that way you already are setting yourself up with that mindset of, I'm confident. No one can tell me anything like that I already don't know about myself. Don't let someone dictate your happiness and stuff like that. So definitely write down those key things, and that will really help you with your self-esteem and your confidence and stuff like that. Another thing I would definitely advise other plus size women to do to really help with, making the identity shift is doing stuff that you don't think big girls should do. So I know a lot of big girls, we are all scared to do certain things because of, weight limits. And, honestly, a lot of us don't want to look stupid or have other people look at us and be like, oh, she's fat, she shouldn't be doing that, So different things like that. Like for me personally, being younger, things like that, I never in a million years thought that honestly I really could be in an airplane or go zip lining and stuff like that. But little by little, when you start doing stuff that scares you, that is definitely a major way to make an identity shift. So doing things like maybe going to the gym is scary for you, because I know a lot of plus size women don't go to the gym because, there is a certain thing in the gym where you are judged as a fat person. They look at you like you're crazy. They don't want to share the weights with you. That's a thing. They don't want to share the weights with you. They look at you like you're crazy. And it's just like, how am I plus size in the gym? And you look at me like I'm crazy when I'm in here trying to lose weight, this is a place to lose weight at. Like, what? It's crazy. Okay. But that, I know that definitely makes a lot of plus size women feel not that secure when it goes to going to the gym. So maybe even taking baby steps to do something that scares you. So if it's the gym, maybe every day at 5 o'clock after you get off of work, just drive to the parking lot and sit there for the amount of time it would be for a workout. And then slowly build your way up and keep doing that. So that way your brain remembers that, okay, this is what I do after work. And little by little, you're going to start to be more and more comfortable. Maybe you'll start to, incorporate gym clothes and wear that too. And eventually you'll get in there and really face your fears. And so I really encourage a lot of plus size women to do outlandish things. Maybe take a class that you never thought that was for you. Take a pole dancing class. I know I took a pole dancing class last year, and it was just truly just a great experience. So I really truly encourage, if you are a big girl and you are scared to do something because of your size, you need to get over that, because you're not going to live. You're going to live in the past, and you're never going to have that identity switch that you really want and start living like your true life that you're meant to have. So do something that scares you, and I promise you, like, even when I took that pole dancing class, like, y'all, I was so like, oh Lord, like, because you know I'm sexual, you know, free person, things like that, but when it comes down to pole dancing, what I've seen is just like those women are so confident and everything. So when I had to get on that pole, I was like, ooh, I don't know if I'm as confident as I thought it was, but it definitely helped me with my confidence. And at the end, I really did feel sexy. So if you're plus size, do not be scared to do anything because of your size. Try rock climb and stuff like that. Anything that scares you, literally try it, and it definitely will help you with your identity switch, because I promise you that's probably holding you back right now. It's because you're scared of something, but you got it. Go ahead and do it. I promise you it's going to be something positive at the end. Another thing you can do to really help your identity switch is wearing something outside of your comfort zone. A lot of plus size women I know, we have been shackled by JCPenney's and Belk's and all the big girl stores, okay, with the half shirts. The shirt's supposed to be half up and it'd be like long in the back, and then the shirts that have the weird cuts, and the shirts that have the skulls on them, and the big dresses, and the, I know a lot of us, I mean, you know, fashion has changed for plus size women, but you know, a lot of plus size women, we were kind of trained and kind of brought up on these clothes that cover our body and don't show us, you know, off and stuff like that. And so a lot of us were basically taught by society that we weren't supposed to show our bodies, stuff like that. But now, y'all know times have changed. Y'all know Shein is out there, and Fashion Nova, and all these other name brands that do have plus size, you know, women clothing that is a little risque and stuff like that. Try something different. Try a new color. If you're wearing black all the time, try something white. Try something blue. Try something that's a little see-through, a little mesh. Try something a little scandalous, and just see how you feel. And honestly, if it scares you too much to wear in a public, try wearing something in the house and taking pictures of yourself in the mirror, maybe posing, having it in your little gallery and look at it every time, you know, you might feel insecure one day and think about, you know, one day I did try this out and I wore this in the house and I felt like I looked pretty good. So really just trying to do those different little things that really can help you with changing your whole mindset and changing your whole identity switch can really help you. So that's a little thing I also definitely advise other people to do. With me personally, I started wearing more scandalous swimsuits because y'all know bikinis. It's about to be bikini season. It's like a fat girl worst nightmare. Y'all know. But for me personally, when I started wearing bikinis, I don't think I was really that confident to begin with, and it took me a long time to really be okay in a bikini, everything like that. But the more, you know, like everything else you do in your life, the more you do it, the more comfortable you are with it. And I definitely wore it inside the house before I even wore it in public, and I saw a huge difference. So I highly recommend you trying something that's definitely out of your closet, definitely out of your comfort zone. Another thing is, I definitely advise, if you do not have one already, getting a full length mirror. Okay, I know it's being a big girl, a lot of mirrors scare us, and it's kind of scary, you know, seeing yourself in each and every crevice and everything like that. But you need to get used to seeing yourself in order to truly accept yourself. So maybe after you get in the shower, instead of running with your towel across the mirror, maybe sitting down for a second and, you know, walking past the mirror, taking a good look, looking in the front, looking in the back, looking to the side, and say some affirmations that you think is good. Say something good about your body that you love, and, you know, especially if you're up and you're able to walk, be grateful that you even have the legs to stand in the mirror and look at yourself in, that you have eyeballs to see yourself. You have to be really, really grateful of the things that you do have more than the stuff that you don't have. So learning to love your fat body, learning to love when your body maybe gained a little weight because you ate too much cake, and maybe you overstuffed yourself and you had like another, maybe a binge eating episode and stuff like that. And just being grateful for another day is enough. But always, always, always look into the mirror naked as much as you can. Okay, and you'll start to be more comfortable and start to be, especially when it comes down to summertime and you have to show more skin and stuff like that. I definitely advise you looking into the mirror multiple times a day. And I know it sounds crazy and it sounds scary, but at first, you know, it's gonna feel like that. But after a while, you'll start to really understand what I mean, and it definitely helps. Like, at first, when I heard people say that too, and I was just like, I'm not gonna stand in the mirror, look at myself, like, ugh, look at my fupa, like that, all that stuff. But after a while, girl, you start loving that little fupa. You start like that little fupa. You say, oh, she looking cute today. Like, okay, she giving me extra warmth. Okay, so finding different little stuff to make you feel good about your body will definitely help you. Something else that definitely helped me with my identity switch, this is just a personal one for me, but definitely meditation definitely helps. I'm naturally an anxious person because I'm a Virgo, you know what I'm saying? So I'm always trying to plan, I'm always trying to think ahead, you know, 500 steps. But or even just journaling as well helps me. I'm not a huge journaler because I feel like me personally, I have like little like what do you call it, like, I wouldn't call it arthritis, but it's like, I don't know, if I write for too long my hands start hurting. So I don't like to really journal that much, but sometimes I will make voice memos to myself. So finding something to dedicate at least 1 hour to, whether it's exercise, journaling, like I said, maybe like meditation, prayer, and like that. If you can just take 1 hour to yourself and really devote that self to yourself and making that like your self-love session, sorry, excuse me, making that like your self-love session can really start helping you each and every day with your identity switch. And it's always important, like I preach in every one of my videos, to have that time to yourself, especially when you're in this mode of always trying to improve yourself and self-improvement. So making an hour to yourself, whether it's a walk, whether it's journaling, like I said, meditation, the gym, something. An hour a day needs to be for you, only you. So put that phone down, unwind, don't talk to nobody, and really sit there with your thoughts and you know, come up with different ways to come up with different affirmations and different forms of gratitude, because each and every day you really need to be thankful for, honestly, another day of life. Another thing I definitely would suggest is looking at different people around you. So I had said in my other episodes, surrounding yourself with women that look like you will definitely help. And I think that also helps with your identity switch, because as a plus size woman, when you see other plus size women around you living life, and it's very important to note that you need plus size women around you that are confident and are working on themselves like you, and watching the I'm Just Big Pone podcast, yes. But not for real, finding plus size women that look like you, that are confident, have good self-esteem, who aren't afraid to wear scandalous stuff maybe, and who have the same interests as you as well. It's really important for your identity switch, because for this identity switch, ultimately for a plus size woman, it's really just being acceptive of your body, and really just truly understanding, you know, your thoughts and who you are and ways that you want to self-improve and stuff like that. So when you're around other women who know exactly who they are, who aren't afraid to take up space, who say what they want to say, aren't afraid to say it, and only go after for what they want, then that also will help your identity switch, because you're around like-minded people, and ultimately they're going to rub off on you, and so you're going to be confident as well, because you can't be part of the friend group, girl, if you ain't confident too. So you definitely need to be around other people that have the confidence like you, or at least trying, so that way you guys can try different stuff together. So I definitely recommend that. And I kind of touched on this a little bit earlier, but I definitely think being out in nature will also help your identity switch. And I don't feel like a lot of people bring this up, but having that at least 30 minutes outside of the sun, or just being outside, will definitely help your identity switch. Because if you really think about it, us as human beings, like, you know, we're from the earth, we're made, you know, from the earth, and, you know, whenever we pass, we'll go back down to the earth. So when you are alive every day, you need to be surrounded by nature. You need to be able to go outside and walk and smell the trees. And well, if you're in the city, you can't really smell too many trees, but, you know, just being outside, maybe just taking that walk somewhere downtown, or going to a mall or something like that. Being outside in nature is really important, especially for me. I love going to the park each and every week. It's really good for my mental health, so I definitely encourage other people to really get outside, because I don't know if that's the Virgo in me, but I do love being outside. If the bugs don't attack me first, because I can't stand bugs. But before the bugs attack me, I like to go outside. And I really feel like whenever it came down to me and working on my self journey and trying to improve my mental health, definitely a walk a week really helps. And I definitely encourage other plus size women to do it. Even if you only do it for maybe like just 10 minutes, you know, maybe you might have some health problems or things like that, but you could do it for like maybe 10 or 5 minutes, stuff like that. But yeah, I really just wanted to come up here and sit here and talk to, you know, other plus size women, and really encourage you guys to understand that having this identity switch is really crucial for us. Because like I said earlier, a lot of us are tied into how much we weigh. Each and every day we're thinking about our weight. We're thinking about a new diet. We're thinking about different ways to lose 20 pounds before the summer, okay? And I don't think a lot of plus size women are living. Like, a lot of us are just existing, and we're being treated poorly by maybe people around us and our loved ones and stuff like that. And a lot of us aren't standing up for ourselves because we feel like that's what we deserve. And I'm definitely here to tell you that you don't deserve to be treated badly because of your size. You don't need, and that even goes for yourself. So that goes for self-talk. You don't need to be talking to yourself in a poor nature. You don't need to be just encouraging yourself. You need to be making these negative thoughts come to your mouth. Like, as soon as you think a negative thought, shoo it away. Don't say it. Don't think it again. And just know that thoughts are there for a reason, and that's it. Thoughts are there, and you can either choose to believe it or not. Okay? And let me just tell you, if it's a negative thought, don't believe it. If it's the worst case scenario, don't believe it. If it's not the best case that's gonna happen in your situation or something like that, like you're thinking of the worst thing that can happen out of it, don't believe it. So in order for you to really have this identity switch, you really got to sit down, buckle down, and get serious with your life. Really sit here and think about, how long do you want to sit here and think about your weight before you actually either want to change it or you want to accept it. You got to choose one, because when you're in that middle, in that gray area, you're going to sit there and life is just going to pass you by. And all those people that you are thinking about that have talked about your weight and bullied you and stuff like that, they have been gone and lived their life, while you are sitting here needing an identity switch and you don't know where to start. I'm telling you to start now. Start today. Start with one thing. Start with the journaling. Start with writing something down. Anything you can do to get out of that fog, out of that brain fog, after all of that gray area where you're unsure about who you are as a person. You have to do something about that now. Especially being a plus size woman, you know, society already treats us bad. Other people are already putting us down. So you need to be 100% okay and self-accepting with yourself, because until then, you are just going to be waiting for the next person to say something bad to you before you go back into that twirl of, you know, thinking that the world is, you know, not for you, against you and stuff like that. And so I'm here to tell you that you need to live big, girl, today. Okay? Wake up, smell the roses, go outside, do all these little steps that I told you today, because I promise you, any of these little steps will help you with changing your identity and really taking control of your life. And I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I really enjoyed it today. And yeah, I hope you guys really learned something today. I hope that this is really encouraging to some others, especially if, you know, you need a little pick-me-up and things like that. I really want this to be a safe space, like I said, for all plus-size women to self-improve and really, you know, help their confidence and things like that. But yeah, if you want to see more videos, definitely click the link below. And I have different various episodes on this podcast. But you can also look at my TikTok and my Instagram at JB__heart. And yeah, I hope you guys really enjoyed today's video, and I hope you guys are able to wake up and make that identity switch. Okay, all right, I will see you guys next week. Bye, y'all.